Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of So What Is Your Point? Today, Stephen and I are talking about the trap of perfectionism. Now, I think everybody falls into this trap a little bit. And what is perfectionism? What are your thoughts about this, Steve?
Perfectionism is one of those things where you keep trying to refine it till you feel it's just perfect to put out to the world. And I've got a bias on this. It's never going to be perfect. You're always going to find some reason or some way to make it better. And there's an old saying that I've used many times that goes, "My junk is better than your nothing." Now, that doesn't mean I put out junk. But what that means is I get something to a point where I feel it's decent. I put it out and then I refine from there. But unless you put something out into the world, you're nobody. You're nothing. And it takes that effort to move forward with something that's decent and not absolutely perfect, because it never will be.
And Steve, you and I have been in Toastmasters, and that's a perfect example. If you want to learn how to public speak, you have to go out and speak in public. And you can't wait till you become perfect at public speaking by reading books or tips or tricks or even practicing in your basement. You have to go out and speak in public to be a good public speaker. And you and I both learned that along the way.
Absolutely. All too often, let's just take the speaking realm. You can do some webinars on how to speak. You can do webinars on how to do marketing. But it really takes hands-on effort to make it work.
And that's the learning process. And if you don't get that hands-on effort and do it, you cut yourself off from the learning process. I mean, in speaking, you and I might have stood up in front of a group, and the first one might not have been as good as we were 3, 4, 5, 10 years later.
Right.
So the question that Steve and I want to pose to you is, have you ever met anyone who was perfect? Probably the answer is no. The hard truth is that no one is perfect, and you'll never reach perfection on anything. But this means that the things that you do in your business will not be perfect either. Your brochures, your websites, your emails, your marketing promotions won't be perfect. But the more you start to put them out there, people will be tolerant for imperfection, and you'll learn by the process of doing.
I agree. And so, for instance, on marketing, if you have some basic fundamentals, such as you recognize what the problem you're trying to solve is for the customer, you recognize who your customer is, and you have the empathy that they're going through a struggle and that you can help solve their problem, you're so far ahead of everyone else. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be so far ahead of everyone else, you will get better results.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, the question that comes to my mind is, are you really spending all your time in business trying to get everything perfect, or are you just wasting your time? So why not spend the time doing the things that will really help you grow your business? And some of the things that here are 3 proven ways you can get into doing things that are more productive. So spend your time doing invitations to prospective clients to learn more about your business and what you offer. Now, there's lots of different ways to do that, right, Steve? You utilize LinkedIn a lot and you put
Sure.
out posts, and that helps people discover you, right?
Right. But again, the key here is as you invite people to learn more about your business, you need to do it in a way that identifies a problem that they're struggling with, or they might be struggling with, and your empathy for the fact that they're going through this struggle, and that you might have a solution that will relieve them of that burden.
Yeah, and that brings up the next point for getting new business, and that's give presentations to prospects so they can actually experience your work. Now, isn't that an amazing concept? I mean, the best way that you can share what you do and for them to understand the quality of your work is to let them experience it.
Right. Now, for years, when I was in corporate human resources, vendors would come in and do presentations, and they would spend 10, 15 minutes talking about how they were founded and the wonderful aspect of what makes them great. And they'd talk about their product and how great it is and whatever else have you. And that really didn't do much for me. But when a vendor came in and made sure that they understood my challenges and problems and talked about those challenges and problems, that built a relationship that I knew that they cared about what I was doing. So for instance, I remember I was getting ready to build a software package for my business. I met with a programmer, and I had this list of things I wanted this package to do. And I say, I wanted to do this. He says, I got it. I wanted to do this. I said, I got it. I want to do this. He wasn't taking any notes. Just, I got it. I got it. I got it. I didn't feel that he really understood what I was trying to accomplish. He just wanted to write code. I wanted a problem solved so I can help solve other people's problems.
And he wasn't listening to you either,
He,
right? I
he
mean,
wasn't
really,
listening.
yeah.
So if you're going to give a presentation, you need to understand their challenges and problems. You need to understand what it is they're trying to accomplish, and build a relationship that way with empathy, that you understand what they need to do before you talk about how you might solve that problem.
And it's your perception as the client that the speaker is really listening to you. I mean, if they say, yeah, 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 yeah,
Got it, got
or
it, got it, got it,
got
got
it,
it.
got it, got it, that doesn't help you have a perception that they are really listening to you. So it requires listening, feeding it back, making sure they understand. So, from a seller's perspective, you have to make it about them rather than about you. So,
Right,
you have to make sure that you're talking only maybe 30% of the time, and the customer is talking 70% of the time.
right. I can honestly say that early in my business career, when I showed people how my system worked before I talked to them about their problems, I seldom got the business. But when I talked with them about their challenges and problems and what they hope to accomplish, then I showed them a solution. It got me a lot farther.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we gave them a couple ideas on how they can speak to clients and start getting business. The third and final one was meet and talk with people you're considering working with. It's really all that simple. So let's just recap the three things. Invite prospective clients to learn more about your business and what you offer. Let them experience your work and keep meeting and talking to people. And you can't expect the world to understand all this, and you can't do it all through social media and marketing and all that kind of stuff. You actually have to talk to people, and in the way that we had spoken about, it's really that simple.
Right.
So do those three things rather than focus on getting everything else in your business perfect, and you will change the way that you work and have a lot more success, and you'll avoid the trap of perfectionism. Well, we thank you for joining us this podcast, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.